Tashigi.
Tuesday!
Next up, we have the god himself, Dracule Mihawk. The Straw Hats, minus Cat Burglar Nami, have their sights set on the Grand Line. But our captain is stuck paying off a debt to Captain Zeph of the Barate. This mishap, though, allows Zoro to witness the greatest swordsman in the world to date, Dracule Mihawk. Knowing of the legend of the greatest swordsman in the world, Zoro challenges Mihawk. He has a bit of questions first, but ultimately they do draw swords. Well, kind of. We have to keep this in mind. Even though Zoro saw Mihawk slice a whole galleon in half, deflect gunfire, Zoro still wanted to clash swords. He had to endure a little disrespect from Mihawk, which I ain't like as a Zoro stan, but I knew it was gonna get disrespectful when Mihawk pulled out this tiny knife. And to my disbelief, Zoro is getting outclassed. I'm talking about in front of Luffy, in front of his bounty hunter friends, everybody at the restaurant, all of Don Krieg's crew. Like, embarrassing. So much so, Zoro flashes back to when Kuina used to whoop up on him. So this whooping, this outclassing, this master class traumatizes Zoro that he has to think back to the last time he was getting destroyed at swordsmanship. Zoro's resolve for not wanting to lose impresses Mihawk, and Mihawk decides to draw his real sword. And then they do final attacks, and Zoro uses his secret technique, Sansen no Sakai. But alas, Zoro takes his first L to the world's greatest swordsman, though. But then we get to hear the ambitious Zoro exclaim to his captain that he will never lose again. Now let us rank this epic battle. Fight difficulty, S rank. This was a head-to-head battle with the world's greatest swordsman. Zoro, being famous in the East Blue, tried to take on this godlike swordsman so early in his career proved very difficult for Zoro. Story impact, S rank. This battle shaped where Zoro's current power is versus the strongest in the world. And to this day, he still has the scar from the attack from Mihawk. Power displayed, S rank. So we've seen Zoro's Demon Cut, his signature move, Onigiri. We've seen Tiger Hunt, Torakari. And then Zoro displayed, for the first time, his secret technique, Sansen no Sakai, 3,000 worlds. And it all had no effect on Mihawk. He didn't land a single technique. But the fact that he had to use them shows the power of Mihawk, really. But he went through all of his attacks. So he displayed all of his power. Strategic depth, D rank. There wasn't any. More machismo. But his will was not stronger than Mihawk's in this battle. But he did show a lot of respect, a lot of resolve. Like I said, machismo. And then we move on to our next fight. It will be in Arlong Park against Hachi, the octopus. Now, our captain has been thrown into the sea, and we're trying to scramble to get him out of the water before he drowns. He can't swim due to his devil fruit, so time is of the essence. Now, our boy Zoro is still injured from the battle with Mihawk. That should let you know how devastating that battle was. He took an L and a life-altering injury that is still affecting him in this next fight. And Hachi was not really trying to square up. He was just trying to distract them from jumping into the water to save their captain. But then Hachi really wants to check out this pirate hunter, his 3-sword style. So he wants to show off his 6-sword style. Zoro's pain is really taking effect here as he has to lay out on the ground to catch his breath before even engaging with Hachi. But Zoro does stand on his feet, and he states that not even death could keep him from being the greatest swordsman. I don't know what it is, but when Zoro's wearing the Dewey, it's like he's in a trance, okay? So my boy, he ties up the do-rag. Zoro calls to his boys, Johnny and Yasuku, to throw him their swords. And this is where I became a fan all over again. He did just come off this devastating L, but then he goes and does this crazy acrobatic-like move, okay? So, they toss their swords. Zoro, still catching his breath, puts the Wado Ichimonji in his mouth, right? Are you getting the picture? Zoro standing there, wounded, swords flying in the air towards him. Now Hachi is then approaching him with his 6-sword style octopus arm dance, and without missing a beat catches both of Johnny and Yasuka's sword while avoiding Hachi's attack and then cut him once he was out of danger. Zoro's Santoryu Toro Nagash. Flawless debut does not disappoint me, okay? Love this attack. This technique was chef's kiss. I will point out, Zoro's quips start hitting a little harder after that fight with Mihawk. And I have to say, I love it. I love the quality of trash talk that Zoro is now establishing. Then we get another new technique from Zoro. And this new technique is what finishes off Hachi. His Santoryu. That's Maki! Loved it. Still love it. Alright, now let us rank the battle between Hachi and Zoro. Fight difficulty, S rank. Zoro was already heavily wounded from the world's greatest. Even was developing a fever, but his resolve wouldn't let him die, and he still was able to take on the 6-sword style fishman Hachi. Story impact, S rank. Now this was his bounce back fight after Mihawk, so he had to bring it, so to speak. Even though he was still wounded, he didn't disappoint. He still showed us his 3-sword style. He still showed us that he had more techniques. He still showed us that nobody will compare to Mihawk. I've already faced the best, so everybody else is just not even comparable. He didn't let Hachi get to him. Like, you're not even on the same tier as what I just faced. Power displayed, S rank. We get 2 brand new techniques. One that avoids attacks, and one that is a devastating twister attack. Strategic depth, C rank this time. And it gets a C ranked because he did display a lot of bravado, a lot of machismo, but he did avoid an attack. C rank. And to cap off this East Blue arc, we have to go to Logue Town and face off against Tashigi. Now that Nami has joined the crew as our navigator, we are now all set for the Grand Line. But we have to stop in Logue Town before we can begin our Grand Line journey. Needing new swords, Zoro's walking through town and he witnesses Tashigi fighting. Thinking he would have to step in, he doesn't need to because Tashigi wraps it up and he picks up her glasses, and when he finally sees her face, he sees that she has a striking resemblance to Kuina, and then that shock crushes her glasses. Tashigi, clearly oblivious to who she's talking to, takes him back to their headquarters, Marine headquarters, where she's having Zoro do chore work. Kind of what Kobe was doing for Alvida before he joined the Marines. So, Zoro, not having time for this, makes quick work of these chores, right? Respectful, honorable man, okay? He didn't just leave. Although he is a pirate, he didn't just dip out. He finished the chores and left her money for her glasses. I love this guy. Zoro finally finds a sword shop. Then he meets Tashigi again at this sword shop. She's complete airheadness. Helps Zoro this time because she is a sword nerd. The first sword Zoro finds is the Sandai Kitetsu. Tashigi nerds out on it, tells him he found a legit sword, but Zoro realizes that the sword is cursed. The shopkeep tells him about he can't sell him the sword, so Zoro does a very gutsy move. Offers his arm up as he just throws the sword to test if the sword would allow him to be its master. Once Zoro gained the respect of that sword, the shopkeep just had to rush and give him the greatest sword he has at his shop, the Yubashira. And Zoro, in luck fashion, walks out of that sword shop, 2 swords up, and whatever berries he had left over after he paid Tashigi. So he didn't spend a dime in this shop. He walked in like this was a quest on a game and just gained 2 swords. Baller. But once Tashigi learns that Zoro is him, she gets all butthurt and tries to stop him from escaping Logtown. Now Zoro tells Sanji, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? I got business here. He makes quick work of Tashigi. He spares her life, which she felt dishonored, but what are you gonna do? Zoro essentially did what Mihawk did to him, only he didn't injure Tashigi. Now let's rank this battle. Fight difficulty, D rank. Zoro doesn't even break a sweat against Tashigi, even though we can't tell because it's raining. But I don't think he was sweating her. Story impact, C rank. This shows that much like Zoro did in his younger years, he's willing to fight a woman in a sword fight. He sees anybody as a potential candidate to get these hands because the world's greatest won't discriminate. Power display, D rank. He didn't do a signature move. He didn't do any of the 3 sword style techniques. He didn't even do any of the 2 sword style techniques. He just outclassed Tashigi. Strategic depth, D rank. His will was stronger. He didn't show that much machismo, but he did outclass Tashigi. He didn't need a lot of strategy involved in defeating her. Alright, now let us recap the East Blue arc. Axe and Morgan. Fight difficulty, S rank. Story impact, D rank. Power displayed, C rank. Strategic depth, C rank. For a grand tier ranking of C rank. Okay, Kabaji. Fight difficulty, S rank. Story impact, S rank. Power displayed, A rank. Strategic depth, D rank. For a grand tier ranking of B rank. Then we have the Neban brothers. Fight difficulty, S rank. Story impact, S rank. Power displayed, C rank. And strategic depth, D rank. For a grand tier ranking of B rank. Okay, Dracule Mihawk. Fight difficulty, S rank. Story impact, S rank. Power displayed, S rank. Strategic depth, D rank. For a grand tier ranking of A rank. Then we have Hachi the Octopus. Fight difficulty, S rank. Story impact, S rank. Power displayed, S rank. Strategic depth, D rank. For a grand tier ranking of A rank. Wrapping up the East Blue is Tashigi. Fight difficulty, D rank. Story impact, C rank. Power displayed, D rank. Strategic depth, D rank. For a grand tier ranking of D rank. Alright, thanks for tuning in. If you like this content, please let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. But as always, I'm Good Luck Chuck. This is Luck Studios. Stay lucky, my friends.